Hey traders, Parker here with an updated version of the 4 times ORB or 4 times open range breakout indicator. Excuse me. These are some of the updates that I made. So let me show you where the O one looks like. So this is the O one. You can see how the cloud just basically drags across price. And that was one of the things I always hated about the indicator, but at the time I couldn't do anything about it. Plus, I left a gap in there. That was for my own personal reasons. I like that 10% gap, but other traders may or may not like it. But I took that out as well. So here's the new indicator. So it's not going to drag across price. Once this 5 minute or the 15, once the time for the range is over, it'll snap into place. It is snapping in place, snapping in place, snapping in place, like you see right here. So we zoom in on the indicator. You can see for the first range 1, I've separated between light and dark, and that's just, for me, it's a bullish indication or a bearish indication. And this white line right here is your range mid for the first range 1. So those are some of the basic changes that I made to this indicator. I also added in these bubbles for the ranges as well. So there's no guesswork in there. So if you open up the indicator, you can see why I made some other changes to the names of the different things as well. So you have range 1 start, range 1 end. You have hide range 1 cloud, or show range 1 bubble. So you can hide the bubbles, or you can completely hide all the bubbles with this right here, or you can go in there and do it individually. So the other thing you can do in here as well is show range for plot lines. We're gonna plot the lines, and we're gonna say show on. Well, I'll do that next. So here's your lines for this indicator. Oops. Let's see. It probably didn't take plot lines. So show range for bubbles. Yeah, I don't know what I changed. So whatever I changed. So plot line. So now we can see we actually have the lines that are on here. So one of the best uses for this indicator, if you're a range trader or you're open range breakout trader, you can see right here. Here is our 5 minute range right here, and you can see it actually broke out, and you can play those levels, and you can see how it retested these levels. So this would be your 15-minute high. It came back in and tested that. And here's your 30-minute high. You can see how on the 1 minute it just basically bounced and ranged between there and your hourly high as well, this top range right there. So those are your lines, and what else? The bubbles, the time reminders. So the time reminders are your 5 minute, 15 minutes, and if you go in there, you can show them hourly. And you can see how it shows up for each hour. 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hour. And it shows you all the ones throughout the day. And if you want to see the half hours, you can put those on as well. So here's your half hour, half hour, half hour. And they're all dark gray. So hopefully they don't interfere with price or whatever you're trying to look at with concerning price. And what else did I change? This right here, show time reminders only below this period. So they'll show only below an hour. So you go to a higher time period, they will not show. So those are a lot of the features that I updated from this previous version here. And you can see how now it broke back into this 15-minute high. Initially, it was rejected. It came back down, retested it, and it was able to break back into this 15-minute range high area right here. There's hundreds of videos out there on YouTube for how to use an open range breakout indicator. So I'm not going to go into really how to use it, but these are the features of this open range indicator. And if you don't want to use the past day's range, if you don't want to see any of the ranges before then, you just come down here to show only today, show today only. So now you're not going to see a range for any of the previous days. And if we can go and look at the S&P 500, which did not do fair as well today, and you can see it's showing the same thing. You just want to use those levels to base your trading off of. You can see that sometimes they hold, sometimes they get rejected. And you see the S&P 500 came back into its 5-minute range, got rejected, and now it's retesting range 3. It says 30 minutes range low for 30 minutes. And that's basically, and you can see right here also, you had all this going on this 1 minute chart, and you can see how it broke back into its 5-minute range right here, retested it, and pushed above. So we can go to a 5-minute chart and look at it as well. And you have all those bubbles, and they're not close to price, so they're not interfering with anything. And just like CMG, if the range does not change, then all those are going to be the same. You can go in there and change those to different start points, but I have them all started at the same point, so they will stack like that. But feel free to change any of these different things, start times and end times, how you feel, how you would like to, and the ranges will still overlap each other. So those are some of the features of the new version of the 4 times ORB open range indicator. One of the indicators that I would pair with this would be the VWAP, and especially if something's not trading above VWAP, you might want to use caution. And I'm just gonna put VWAP on there, and I will use my levels indicator. This is an updated version of the levels indicator I'm still working on, but I don't mind using it or displaying it here, but I'm going to cut the lines off of the open range indicator, and so we can see everything better. And we're just going to use the lines from the from the levels indicator versus the open range indicator, but we'll keep our midline on there. You can go in there and unselect that, and we're just using the clouds at this point. And you can see how the bubbles kind of interfere with each other. You can move the bubbles on the levels indicator, but for the most part, all of them are going to be to the far right. You're not going to have any bubbles to the left. And you can see right here on S&P 500, it came back down to its pre-market low level right here. And it's retesting this, is it the hourly low? I believe it's the hourly low range right here. And it's trying to get back into this area. It actually breached back into it, but it fell back below. And we can go back to Chipotle, CMG. And we can zoom back into it. This is a high day, a high week. It's going to be the same thing because it's Monday. And this is our previous week's high. It's $60.10. PWH, previous week high. One of the other hot stocks was DJT. Somebody mentioned. This is DJT. I had some lines marked out, but I'm not looking at this stock. So we're just going to erase those lines. And you can see your pre-market levels here. All these blue lines are your pre-market. This is a pre-market Fibonacci level for this new levels indicator. And you can see basically pairing this with the VWAP gave you somewhere to risk off of. And you can see where it dipped back into your 5-minute range top. And you can see it found some resistance here at the 15-minute range top. And it was able to push back above, but it wasn't able to make a new, it wasn't really able to get above this hourly range high right here. But you can see where it came back to this 15-minute range high. But you could come in here into the actual indicator and change the different colors and everything. So here's your range 1, range 1 top, range 2 bottom. So you could change any of those colors of those clouds that you want. And if you feel as though those clouds are too saturated for you, or let me do this. If they are covering up or too light or too bright for you on the chart and it's covering up price, you'll just come down here. So we'll take the light green. We'll take range 3, which is this light green area right here. All you want to come down here, just press more, go over here, go to transparency. I'm going to push it up to 70%. and it's going to change the transparency of the cloud there. And now you can see it's more transparent. Price is not fighting for colors. So I color my price according to my volume, relative volume indicator. So if I'm using the same colors, it could bleed into each other and where you couldn't tell the difference. So that's just one of the things I actually do. So I'm gonna change this one to 70 as well. And this is our hourly range, and it went up to 100. Oops. So putting it back on 70. There we go. And you can see how it still marks out those 2 ranges for me. And I generally do that for all of those. So if I were to go ahead and just change all of those, so I'm looking for the higher ranges. So top range, so here 70% transparency. Okay, and so range top. Yeah. No, that was it already. I think it was range 2. Yeah, range 2. It's the only one I haven't changed, at least for the top part anyway. But it doesn't matter what colors you choose. You can choose whatever colors you want. I just chose green because it seemed to me more bullish, at least in my eyes anyway. But you can see how all those have changed. They're almost completely transparent now. And you can see DJT looks like it's about to break above its hourly range area right here. And you can see where I already explained those things, but it broke back into its 30-minute range high right here, and now it's breaching above now. So these are the new features of the 4 times open range breakout indicator. If you're interested in the indicator, just look in the description. A link will be in the description. Click on the link, it'll take you to where you can get the indicator. And if you haven't already, please like and subscribe. I want to say thank you all for taking the time to listen to what I had to say. This will be the end of the video. I wish you the best, and God bless.